Hello, and welcome to the Kosh, the People's Podcast. I'm your host, Timber Smith, and the Kosh is a podcast that spotlights people who've had an association with the Kosh and the surrounding Fox Cities region. Kosh listeners, what's going on? How are we doing? All right, let me give my report. It is a fabulous morning. It is gorgeous. You know how some mornings you wake up and you're like, it is beautiful. I woke up this morning, went out, peeked my head on the porch and go, this is one of those days. It is beautiful. So on beautiful days like this, when I get an opportunity, I try to go take Bosco, the podcast dog, over to Menominee Park, do a little walk around, which only reinforced it is beautiful today. And the only thing I didn't get to throw into my morning routine that I like to do here on weekends, and today is a Saturday, is I did not get to make it to the farmer's market to get what I like to call the summer traditional burrito. That is right. Kosh listeners, you already know I am obsessed with the burrito tent over at the farmer's market. I don't even know the name of the people that make these burritos, but these burritos, they are over there by the New Moon, and those things are fabulous. Just ridiculously good. So if you ain't doing nothing next Saturday, just go on and pop over there, have one of these burritos, and then I will need a report back. I need to know if I'm delusional about how much I love these things. I know I'm not, but maybe. Nah, not even close. They are that good. I'm just keeping it 100. Okay. Gosh, listeners, let me tell you something. I love everybody who gets a chance to sit in the chair and we get a chance to do an interview with, but sometimes I get even more excited when it's somebody who you just feel that vibe right away. And because sometimes what we do, there's a correlation there, you know. So in other words, like when I meet people who are content creators, I get a little geeky because we can get that nerd talk going, that real nerd content creating nerd talk going. So when I meet fellow podcasters or people who create any type of online content, oh my God, like it just gets me all geeked and happy because we are brethren. I know they know what I'm talking about because, you know, you don't get to geek out with your people all the time. I used to feel like that when I used to run into people who loved comic books. That was another thing that I used to be very, very much fond of. And, you know, now it is about whenever I meet people who podcast or content create online for social media and all sorts of things, like that just turns into fabulous, techie, nerdy, amazing conversation that makes me smile all the way through. So then that's just setting up for who's our guest. But before I introduce our guest, I just want you to know I don't know how I continue to get these amazing, amazing guests. And guess what? This week's no different. So without any further ado, this week's guest is Brandon Bjorkman. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Timber. Thanks for having me.
Did I get that right?
It's Bjorkman.
Bjorkman.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a twang about that.
Yeah, it's Swedish.
Swedish.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna work
Bjork.
on it.
Yeah.
Well, just know that you are in a long line of amazing guests that I've had in the past who have also slaughtered their last name.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you'd butcher Timber Smith.
Yeah. I keep it simple.
Right? Hey, I didn't choose it. All right.
I feel you on that. I feel you that. You know, Smith is one of those names that when people, you know how you go somewhere and they're like, first, last name, can you spell it, please? And then when I get to my last name, they go, can you spell that? I go, Smith. Because why am I spelling Smith? You know what Smith is. There's not some weird spelling of Smith.
You know, I used to like work a lot with like the general public, and I used to like in college do jewelry sales. I don't know why that's a hard word. And just some of the different names you could spell. I've seen Smith spelled Smythe.
Oh, see, I think that's Smythe.
Smythe. Yeah, well, or how many different ways you could spell like an Ashley or a Kayla or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Timber Smith is...
Well, yeah.
Unless if you're hiding some letters in there, you never know.
I'm not Nah, we just keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
But you're right. There's always another spelling to it. But Smith is just one of those good old fashioned ones where I just repeat it again, and then they're like,
yeah, we got you.
We got you. Yeah, that's what's up. All right. Well, Brandon, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing phenomenal. Just phenomenal, man. Anytime I get to amplify my voice and meet new people and just talk, I love it. It's a good day.
Facts.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and jump in a little bit. So, Brandon, can you please tell us a little something about yourself and your association with the Kosh and the surrounding Fox Cities region?
Absolutely. So, my name's Brandon Bjorkman. I like to tell people I'm an epic dream magician. All right?
What?
Yeah. It's one of those things that's just like, how do I summarize what I do? I get paid to connect with people and amplify their stories. All I want to do is collaborate with people that want to just do epic stuff all the time, right? I want to surround myself with people that want to just grow and be better each day, right? That's a good day to me. That's why it's a good day today.
Yeah.
My connection with the Kosh kind of stems back quite a few years. So I was a UWO graduate.
Oh, Titans.
Yeah. Major in radio, TV, film. And I knew right away I wanted to own my own business from like 8, 9 years old. Went to school for it, just had this dream, this goal, and locked in, right? So after graduation, just, took some time trying to figure out, like, what does that look like? I need to train under people that do really cool stuff, right? So I've done anything from documentary work, traveling the world, to, just doing really cool jobs, right? And my wife still worked at UW Oshkosh, and I don't know, you probably know Mark Nyland, right?
Oh yeah.
So
who doesn't know Mark? Mark is a legend.
He is a golden retriever wrapped in a beautiful smile.
Facts.
Right?
That's just a good man.
And he, my wife worked under him I think he's retired now, right?
Yes.
I mean, he's still repping everything UWO, everything Oshkosh, right?
Yeah, nobody goes harder, really.
He set the bar so high, I don't know if it's reachable to anyone, right?
Right?
Well, he kept saying, hey, you really need to, go to Discover Oshkosh. You really need to meet Amy. She's doing epic stuff. You really need to meet her.
Right.
So this takes a while for me to do. My wife and I had just moved into the Fox Valley, so we were a little bit further away, but we had a lot of ties back to Oshkosh. We lived in Oshkosh for, I think, 8 or 9 years, right? And I'm like, well, next time I go to Oshkosh, I'll just stop in. Well, after many excuses, I finally was like, you know what? My shoot ended early. I'm just going to pop my head in, introduce myself, say, hey, my good friend Mark told me I should stop in here and just introduce myself. Right. So I eventually do that. And Amy's like, yeah, we've been looking for some people to do some video work for us. Do you do video? And I'm like, I mean, that's kind of the bread and butter. Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know when, but, I'll give you a call. Well, she was kicking around this idea of a series called I Love Oshkosh. And there was a former video person that was on it. And I don't know the story well enough to share that. All I know is she gave me a call saying, hey, I got this opportunity. I want you to meet the team. And it was Pat Tracy, Tara Brzezowski, myself, and Caitlin. I can't remember her last name. I know it doesn't matter. Anyways, we meet at New Moon, grab a cup of coffee, and I'm like, well, this is kind of my angle on what you guys want to do. I've done a lot of documentary work. I think we should do kind of a hybrid of documentary but scripted, and then we'll kind of figure it out. And our first shoot was actually at Kits and File, and I knew right away Pat and I were gonna vibe. If you had to boil me down to anything, it's just really bad dad jokes, and really bad dad jokes work really well with marketing. And Pat and I are riffing. There was maybe a 60 seconds worth of script. And the rest of the video is him and I just dad punning everything in kits and file, right? And then eventually, like, Amy sees the video. She's in love with it. She's like, this is what I was dreaming of. And I was like, perfect. So it just keeps going on. Now we're going on to season 3, right? And at the end of season 2, you and I got connected at Sunken Paddle Cider Works. And I just remember before that, hey, you got to meet this timber guy. You're gonna love him. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, is that a nickname? Like, I don't know who this guy is, right? And then I think Pat actually introduced me to you. I don't know if it was Pat or Tara, but they're like, you need to know this person, right? Because I'm blissfully naive. Like, I treat people the same if you're like a Fortune 500 dude or if you're like anyone.
Well,
right?
because we are.
Yeah, and you and I, before the podcast started, we were talking about that. Like, and to me, like, I was like, oh, you can just pick up that vibe right away. It's like, this guy's going to be fun. You know, when you walk in with a smile and you can just feel that vibe and that. So you and I got connected at this shoot. You got to experience what it's like to be on set.
Oh, yeah.
Me, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
To me, I want to lower that bar. I want it to be fun. It doesn't have to be stressful. There are so many things happening on set, right?
Yes.
That it's just like, I don't always have that time to connect. So anytime I get to connect with somebody afterwards, it's always wonderful.
No, it was so human. Like, it was just low key, and it was like, all right, here's what's gonna happen. You drink this. Camera's gonna move here. Be you.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, authenticity is what I'm looking for, right?
Yeah, it was real cool.
Yeah. And it's just like, hey, like, it doesn't have to be hard, right? Like, yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. Let me bear that burden. You just have fun. Just hang out with Pat. Like, that shouldn't be difficult. That man, I swear, is also a golden retriever.
He is amazing.
You know, so that's kind of how we got connected, and then you reached out, and I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, the Kosh needed to have you on because you know what? I think I haven't met anybody at all who's been watching these videos who doesn't love the videos. Like, they're just cool. And Pat definitely has an energy about it. Like, you vibe with him, you get it. And maybe my energy isn't as exuberant as Pat's, but my feeling about these different institutions inside of the Kosh, I do feel that way about them.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think on set the cider helped. You know, that always helps, right?
Well, it always helps.
And, you know, Doug and Spencer at Sunken Paddle, those two are like, they could have been my brothers growing up. Like, they're funny.
They're solid.
It was just a good group.
They're good dudes. Oh, and we always here at the Kosh, we got to send a shout out to our sponsors of this episode over at Sunken Paddle. Big shout out over there at Doug and Spencer. Sunken Paddle, making the best of it. And if it's a weekend and you happen to be listening to this Kosh episode and you're free on a Friday or a Saturday, you need to go on and slide over there on 17th Street, sit down, do you a cider tasting. Yeah. And just spend some time in there because you know what? It's such a vibe.
Yeah. If you haven't tried the Kosh tail, that's my favorite.
You like the Kosh tail?
I don't think there's a bad thing there, personally.
Nah.
But when you add a little bit of the sturgeon spirits, because Carl's a mad scientist. That man is wonderful.
That is such a factual statement. Right? We love Carl.
Well, and he's great. When I used the restroom before this started, I saw a little collection started over there. I was like, this man has good taste.
Oh, well, you know, the sturgeon spirits is the church. That's what we call it. That's what
church?
The church. We sturgeon spirits. You got to go hang out with the congregation over there. Yeah, most definitely. So
I'm excited. When are we opening the Sunken Paddle here? This habanero blackberry is
phenomenal.
We don't have to start it yet. We got a long road ahead of us.
Well, we got a road ahead. We will take a cider break during the episode at a point, but it's going to be fire. And it is. And I can't wait to introduce you to some of that. Well, you might have had some, but by itself, it moves different.
It does.
Yes, it does. So how has your experiences been as you're moving around right now throughout Oshkosh and really promoting Oshkosh? How is it being received? What's your takeaway right now as you're doing this? Because you're getting a very unique look at a lot of things.
Yeah. So first of all, this is like my ideal context. I want to find like hidden gems, right? Like anytime I travel, I want to go to what I call like a hole in the wall. That's where you meet the people, not these tourist spots, right? Where everybody's like a melting pot of like the same culture, right?
Yeah.
So the culture here in Oshkosh, from my experience, because I also work with a different city, and this one is, Oshkosh is so different. I feel this sense of we're all lifting each up. My gosh. If I could get those words out, that'd be great. We all lift each other up, is what I'm trying to say. But like, seriously, it's not just like, oh, like Sunken Paddle got a shout out. Where's my shout out? It's just like, we're all championing each other.
Trying,
yeah, right?
Definitely
And I see that, right? It's not a me attitude, it's a we attitude. Like, how do we bring people to this city? Because it is an event city. Like, one of the first things I struggled when we moved. I was like, everything's, for the most part, walking or a decent bike ride away.
True.
Right?
True.
Like, I just love it. It's a bigger city, but with a smaller avenue, right?
Yeah.
And we're all connected, right? So anytime like Discover Oshkosh sends me to a place, I'm like, I cannot wait to go there. What's the story here? You know, because like everybody's got a story. Everybody is connected more than we are different, right?
Oh, big time.
And to me, I just keep getting to meet new people every single day and then just amplify that message. That is what I love about it. That's what I'm noticing in Oshkosh.
I love that you brought up multiple times now about the story.
Yeah.
Because I'm a firm believer that stories are the ultimate communication tool. It's the one thing, like when someone tells you a good story, it helps you relate to whatever the intent of telling you that story really was, and you remember stories.
Yeah.
Like I tell people all the time, if you go to a conference, right, and no matter how great the conference is, you're only going to remember two things. You're going to remember some stunning statistic that some keynote speaker told you that you're like, ooh, I didn't know it was that bad, or oh my God, that's way better than I thought. And the story, some story that's told to you that sat on your soul.
Yeah. I've never met somebody that goes, I don't want to hear a good story.
Nah.
I don't want to hear a story. Because the thing that I struggled with for a long time was how do you tell a story, right? If you can break it down to simple, digestible terms, right? Characters, conflict, resolution. That's a story, right? Mm-hmm. You know, and to me, it's a way of saying the facts. Because I could be like, you know, here's the statistics of like how many apples are pressed at Sunken Paddle. I could tell you what kind of apples. That you're not going to remember all that, but it's going to, if I can tell it in a way that keeps you engaged, you're going to remember that. You can put those little sprinkles of facts in there, but to me, a story should make you feel something. People will always remember how you made them feel, not what you did.
Correct. Brandon, where are you originally from?
I'm from Green Bay. Howard specifically.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And traveled on down this way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, I knew I wanted to go to UWO.
Yeah, instead
right
of
away.
UWGB? It wasn't
Correct.
even, it wasn't
Yep.
even, it wasn't
Nope,
close
it
call.
was UWO or go to NWTC and then eventually transfer to UWO. I wanted the radio, TV, film thing. I knew I was going to do that, and I wanted to minor in music industry because I'm a music nerd, and a minor in business administration because I knew I wanted to run my own business someday.
I love that radio, TV, film program. I'm not going to lie. I used to, back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I mean back in the day, got a chance to have a little radio show.
I was on the radio. I used to do that.
Yes, I had a nice little midnight hip hop show back in the early 90s. It was fire. But I mean, that's just cool that they have access to that on UWO's campus.
Isn't that cool? It's like I knew I didn't want to get into radio, but I have a gift of just talking.
Conversation.
Right? Now, did I enjoy the metal shift from 9 to midnight? Yeah. Not necessarily. But I think there's beauty in all music. So you just find something that you like and carry it over. Same thing, like every now and then I'd have people join me in the studio and we would just talk, right? Or sometimes it was a shuffle shift, like from noon, or not noon, I was never in the daytime. It was always like midnight to 3 a.m. or whenever it ended. And then you'd have class at 8 a.m. on Monday and you'd be like, why did I sign up for this? But all of it is the experiences, right?
Right.
So.
Any siblings?
No, I'm an only child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm not an only child. I have a sister, but we're 10 years apart. So in a way, it's kind of like like being both.
Right.
You know, like there's because when you have a gap that big, there's certain things where
how do you relate?
You have an only child mentality, maybe at first. Mm-hmm. You get the sibling, but there's certain things because of the age gap, there's still like that's a lot of time in between.
Right. Well, and to me, like I did a lot of daycare growing up because both my parents worked, and it was just like, maybe it was just all along, just the gift of gab, gift of connecting people. I want to meet new people. I want to talk to new people. And being an only child, playing with the toys by itself felt like an intervention. You know, like it just like what's going on here? Like I want to meet people like right away.
You don't want to meet people right away.
I don't want to be by myself any longer. I want to connect. I want to be out there. So
that's fair. Well, let me ask this now. We have a little understanding of what you do, and I'm sure we're going to dig a little deeper into this. But if you weren't doing what you do right now, what would you like to be doing?
Probably playing music. I've been playing guitar, drums. I know 7 instruments in total.
What?
Yeah, 7 instruments. My first thing that I wanted to actually go after was being like a professional musician. When I was 15 and 16, I was playing in bars, all in the Green Bay area. When I was 18 and just like moved out, I was playing in a pop punk band that was touring and opening up for some bigger bands at the time. And I'm telling you, it's fun. It's a lot of work and for not a lot of pay. And I just didn't see like an end goal with it. It was just like, there's a lot of hype of being on tour, but really it could be boiled down to just 5 dudes in a van that haven't showered in 7 days.
Bruh.
It's just like, you only see that little tip of the iceberg, right? Like them on stage. There's so much in between there.
Oh my God, that's so deep.
But that's probably what I would do. Otherwise, maybe sales or teaching. I love teaching people things, right? I love understanding people, and I love when people want to understand and I feel understood.
What do people need to understand about what goes into telling a good story, right? Particularly when it's not your story.
Right. I would suggest thinking big picture, right? The more deeper you go down, the less relatable it is. Same thing with songwriting too. When you start being really niche specific, people can't relate. So when you take a step back and you go, how does this connect, right? Well, sometimes you just got to keep it more broad, right? Not going into the details, you know, like we just talked earlier, like facts. People don't necessarily want to understand facts. People want to understand how it's connected and how it's important to them. One of my favorite questions to ask, who are you and why do you matter? And it cuts to the chase right away. Like, don't tell me what you do. Who are you? Right? To me, who I am, I'm a cinematic soul and creative mastery. That's it. That context doesn't change ever. Right? If I changed industries or professions, it wouldn't change. So to me, a good story is taking that step back and making it more relatable.
That is a very good point. You're right. Facts, people not in the storytelling.
You want to lay more into the emotion of it. How is it going to make you feel? How is it going to change that? How is it going to make it easier for you? Those are the avenues, right? Because, like, I'm sorry, like 100 apples that go into a cider, that's cool and all.
Right.
But I want to think about, like, how am I going to enjoy that on a summer day? Is it connecting me to my friends?
Right.
Like that's how you make it more relatable. Because when you watch these Discover Oshkosh videos, we're not diving deep, right?
No.
We're floating pretty high, right? And
Yeah.
we make it engaging and fun, you know, if we have to sprinkle in a few like KPIs and stuff like that. But
Well, I think you're explaining,
Yeah.
You're saying you're welcome here, and this is why you might want to check it out,
yeah.
right? And I think that's what I get. And then you get the vibrancy of the individuals within the videos who,
Right.
you know, who give that energy off to, like, you really want to be here, or you really want to give this an opportunity.
FOMO is a real thing.
Oh.
Fear of missing out.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. No one likes missing things.
Bruh.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. When you can kind of play into that, and I feel like marketing does that a lot, right? But to me, it's what do you want them to think? What do you want them to feel? How do you want them to act? And if you can address those in a video, that's good. I would also add what makes good content to me, because I'm a guy that likes to have measures. Like, how do we measure that we're being successful?
Right.
To me, a measure of a good video, or to your question, a good story, specifically with video or photo. In this case, I'll just use video. For video, I want to be able to watch the video with no sound. How does it make me feel? And then vice versa, turn the video off and just listen to the audio and the music. Does it have the same feeling? If those two tell that story and are harmonious, that's a good video. Same thing with a photo. Like, I'm sure you've heard a picture says 1,000 words, right?
Absolutely.
What are those words?
That's true.
What do you feel? And we might all feel something different
Yes.
when it is. And that's the conversation that makes a good video or a good photo. Like, oh, you know, I like the blue and the orange here. You know, I think they're trying to do this, and it all comes down to composition. With video, camera movement, like, I don't think they've released the sunken paddle video yet.
No.
But just wait till you see it. Because it's like, how do you make sunken paddle look really cool? Because it's one room.
Yes.
And you get to see everything that's there, right? Like you get to see the mash tuns, the liquor tanks, the mad scientists, like beakers and stuff like that.
There's no behind the scenes.
There's right.
Everything
that is the scene.
Right. Everything's in the room with you. And I love that.
And when we were thinking of how do we tell a story in here, I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to let camera movement engage and blocking and moving talent around. How do you do that? How do you make a 4x4 room like cool and engaging, right?
Right.
And wait till you see how you get introduced with Pat. That camera movement is killer.
Okay.
So hopefully it's released by the time this comes out. It would be great to link it in.
Whenever it's released, it's released. And, I'm not going to lie, my editing and release times are not as fast as they used to be. But I'm sure you can relate to that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It fluctuates, right?
It does. Sometimes because I try to edit when, after my wife goes to bed, so it's not interfering with family time and that kind of stuff. And then, editing there's a love of it, but there is a grind to it.
It is a grind, and it can be isolating.
Yes.
Like one of the things I like to do is put something on in the background just so I'm not sitting in my own thoughts. Like to me, I love learning new things. So I usually have something up that like a podcast or something like that so that like I can keep myself going. Because my ideal context is I would love to be meeting new people and on set all day.
See, when I edit podcasts, I throw some Sports Center on or something. So there's just something I can peek to every once in a while, and then I get back into it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Oh, yeah. If you're doing any content creation, it's one of those things, the dreaded editing. There are people that love it. I started in the industry within this industry by editing. And then eventually I was like, actually, I think I love this more because I was feeling isolated. And I was really good at editing. I've won awards for editing. And I always tell people, one of my favorite things to do is explain your job the worst way possible. Right. It's just like, I polish turds. That's what I do.
Bruh.
I love that.
Because, like, I mean, certain sets it can change, right? Sometimes you have control over all the lights and stuff like that. But like with some of the Discover Oshkosh shoots, it is what it is, right? And you gotta make it work. And if you saw how it was shot versus how it's edited and done, you'd be like, oh, that's different. That's really different.
I think the same thing about audio. If people actually knew sometimes how many ums are in there and how, the flow of the conversation, not that it's not good, but I want to be respectful of people's time. So I'm trying to just pull things out that don't take away from the texture and the authenticity of the episode.
And that's what I always tell like people that do some of my assistant editing. I'm like, just get a narrative cut. That's just like, what's the storyline, right? We're not talking about music or B-roll. It's just get me the story and then see where it's at. Okay, so you gave me a 2-minute timeline. Now remove the ums and ahs and all the stutters and start overs. You'll get that down to maybe like 90 seconds. Like you'd be surprised how many ums and ahs add up.
Oh yeah. I typically edit about somewhere between 800 to 1,000 per episode of the Gosh Out.
I believe it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I love where this conversation is going, but I feel like we may continue down this trail. But I believe that we should get ready. Well, there's only one way to truly get ready. Every single time, I love it. Every single time it's played, I love it. And that means that it is time for the topic of the week. Gosh, listeners, you already knew that. But topic of the week is chosen by our guests 99.9% of the time. And guess what? This week isn't going to be any different. So, hey, Brandon, what's our topic of the week?
Well, I sent over 3, and I said it was going to be dealer's choice. So,
yeah,
you tell me. I chose 3.
See, I feel like you're setting me up. Okay, Kosh listeners, I'm going to tell you the 3 that were given to me. So, 1, maintaining your brain when the world around you is on fire. Whoo, if that's not appropriate for this moment, let me tell you, we are in that space. All right. Number 2, conjunction junction across the world. That automatically sent me to that Saturday morning cartoon.
Conjunction junction, what's your function?
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's
Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock. Number 3, master of all trades versus master of one. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I'm down to 2. It's either 1 or 3.
1 or 3. All right.
And I think because I'm going to go with the context of where we are societally right now and everything that's going on with us right now, I think we need to understand maintaining your brain when the world is on fire around you.
Heck yeah. So I was prepared to explain each one of these because I'm a firm believer of like attention grabbing things. Like, how do you summarize something in one sentence and have impact? So this one is specifically kind of talking about like when we're on set, there's so many things going on, right? Like I'm, blocking people. I'm still trying to have conversations to connect with people. I'm worried about audio, video, composition, all of that stuff, right? And then you have so many people that are coming to you with questions, and then, now we're going to revise the script on the fly, even though we timed everything out. And it's just like, man, you're juggling like 20 things at once. And for some people, it can be very overwhelming, right?
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it is overwhelming for me. I mean, I've been doing this for 18 or 19 years professionally now. And when you first start, it's just like, oh my God, like it's chaos on set sometimes, right? So how do you slow down and flow, right? I want to flow because when you flow, other people are going to sync up to you. Right. When you are the one that's having the most fun on set, people want to be a part of that.
Oh, that's facts.
Right? And to me, I have a leadership coach that has really helped me do this. And I've been working with her for, I think, 3 or 4 years now. And she's just like, how do we elevate the game rather than just doing the task? How can we make it fun and engaging, because we all have to work, but we can have fun while we work. And I've learned with all of these irons in the fire, we'll call it, right, on set, how do we maintain our brain when there's all of this stuff going on? And to me, it's focusing on one thing at a time and only one thing at a time. You know, like right now, I just need to, you know, tell Timber and Pat this is their action. And then I slowly work back. Okay, now I need to inform this talent and this talent. Okay, now we're going to sync up audio, get a mic check. And it's just doing one thing. Because when you start thinking, oh my God, I got to do all these things, Timber, you know, it's just like, okay, one thing at a time. And sometimes you get overwhelmed. Take a deep breath.
Facts.
You know, like this isn't rocket science. It's not brain surgery. We're just telling a story here. When I start getting overwhelmed, the talent is going to get overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, there's an energy in the space. When it feels like it's not in sync, other things fall out of sync just on feeling alone.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing, though, you know, like if I'm at ease, talent's going to be at ease. If they're not at ease, we stop. We just have a conversation and talk. Like, listen, this isn't live. If this takes 20 takes, and it has sometimes, 20 takes to get it right, that's fine. We're here. If we fall behind, there might be another take that we do it in one take and we can move on. Like, we have the time. Give yourself the mercy.
Right.
Have fun.
Give yourself grace.
Yeah. Yeah. Just slow down. That's all you got to do. Because, like, I learned this as a musician. When you're up on stage, it feels like forever if something goes wrong. Like, I just got back into playing music again. I took a break when my son was born. I just got back into it. And I was playing this show in mid-April. And I just remember, like, a good mentor of mine that I opened up for, he's just like, I could tell you were rushing. And I was like, I just felt like when I broke a string, it took forever. And he's like, it was 30 seconds when you grabbed a different guitar. Like, slow down. Time always feels like it's rushed on set.
Oh, yeah.
Slow down. The difference between rushing and just taking that is like 30 seconds. Now,
oh yeah, we get the pressure of being in our head.
Right. And that's the thing. It's just like, just do it right. Don't do it rushed, because if I rush something on set, it's going to take me 5 hours to polish that up later.
That's true.
So if I take 30 seconds now, it's going to save me 5 hours later. Slow down. And I tell that to anyone that I have on set. Anyone that's a sub of mine or something like that, just stay organized. Go slow. Go as slow as fast as possible. I tell people, like, is go at the speed you can do it safely and correctly. And if that takes you 30 seconds, a minute longer, I'd rather have it done right than half butt.
I always feel like you put pressure on yourself because you think everybody else is waiting on you, but then you realize they're not.
Well, and that's the thing.
They're oblivious. Like they're doing them.
Right. And I've had this with clients that have hired me, and we have extras just sitting around. And I'm like, do you think they care that they're sitting around networking and hanging out? No, they don't. Like, it feels like we need to go fast. But the thing is, they're just vibing. They're just having a fun time.
Yep.
Like, don't you want to have the right shot versus going, well, let's just quickly get it because we feel like we're being a burden to them.
Shoot. Don't let there be food on set, because then I really ain't in no rush. Because I want to get a couple snacks in before I have to, before y'all try to shoo me out.
Right. And that's pretty much it, man. Like, it's boiled down to just, you gotta slow down. I feel like as a society, we feel like everything needs to move fast. That's not the case. Slow down, make the connection. Slow down and just be yourself. And that will show up in everything that you do. Like, the reason why I feel these Discover Oshkosh videos are so good is, one, there's a chemistry between everyone on the team, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if Pat and I didn't jive, you would tell that right away in the videos.
Oh yeah.
You know? And sometimes we're changing the scripts because when we are all in the same room, because a lot of these pre-pro meetings happen virtually, but when we're in the room and we have like we're in the environment we're shooting, all of a sudden, like, something will be birthed that's better than that.
Right.
You know, and being open to that change. And that happens because we give ourselves the time to be fun. And that, to me, is how you have to handle it. I think it was a few years ago. I was struggling with, like, a lot of travel. You know, I was sometimes, like, all the way in West Virginia, and then I'd get traveled over to San Antonio, and I'd be doing all these other things. And I realized there's two mentalities you can have. There's a Super Bowl approach, and then there's a practice approach. And the Super Bowl is you get one take, that's it. It better be the best take we've ever seen. Or practice. Hey, we're just going to have fun, Timber. We're just going to have a conversation. The camera's going to be here. Lower the stakes. I am a practice person. You will get the Super Bowl shots if I approach it with the mentality of, hey, we're just learning, growing, and having fun. If this thing doesn't work, then we'll do it a different way.
That's exactly it.
And that's, to me, kind of how you maintain your brain when everything's on fire.
When everything is on fire.
Yeah. Because, man, there are some times where even then I have to step out for like 10 seconds just to go, oh, yeah, that's my next step. All I got to do is this. That's it. Give yourself that mercy, the grace, however you want to define it.
Well, I watched some of that happen in real time when we were at that shoot, right?
Yeah.
And you could just tell there was such a connection amongst the team that there wasn't even that many words that need to be said, right? It was just like this little thing would be blurted and it'd be like, oh, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I get it. Yeah. And then it changes.
Right.
And it didn't have to be all elaborated or anything like that. It just, there was this, I guess there's this saying, right? What's understood does not have to be explained.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, that's the type of vibe I felt amongst the group, amongst the team.
That is the vibe. I felt like it happened right away. Like, it was like we were all like synced up the first day we did this shoot. And then it's just been avalanche since. It's just, hey, how do we want people to feel about this? Because we're all jacked. Is that the mood? Do we need to do something different? And then I think the other point is I love the collaboration piece. I think that really helps with maintaining your brain. Is like, I don't know if you saw this, but we have a director's monitor, right? You have a visual feed is sent to Tara or the client or whoever wants to see it. Because I want people to see what I see. I'm not going to tell you I have all the answers. I have a response to them, but I'm not going to tell you I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm good at what I do. I will provide solutions. I will provide feedback. But to me, it is a collaborative effort. When you're open to the opportunities of other viewpoints and you bring those together, you will get a good product every single time. And to me, when I bought that a few years ago, it was like an elevation in my content because it was like, I'm now bringing a second set, a third set, a fourth set of eyes. Because to me, sometimes I'm just making sure Pat's in focus and the audio sounds good. But then like a Tara or a Caitlin or somebody else will be like, oh man, what if we did this? Or, hey, like, what if you like dipped the camera down? And it's just like, perfect. Let's do that. Heck yeah. I don't have to have all the answers. What I do want to do is as a team, I want us to have all the answers.
So if I'm somebody out here, right, and I'm listening to you and I'm saying, I want to do that when I grow up, even though I'm 45. No, I don't think it matters. I want to do something like this. I want to story tell when I grow up. What would you give as advice for someone who wants to start heading down this path, creating content? Yeah. No matter what medium it is.
Yeah. So there's two approaches. For the longest time, I thought I needed to understand the technical approach, right? There's, exposure, blocking, framing, composition, movement, all of that. Anybody can learn that, literally. YouTube University will teach you all of that. Or you can go to UWO. But I had a good professor that was like, Anybody, any no talent A clown can learn the technical. I want you to learn how to tell the story. And it's more about the soft skills, in my opinion. You don't need a fancy camera. You don't even need a camera. If you want to get into this, eventually, yes, you will need a camera, but it's the soft skills. Can you tell a story verbally to me right now? Because if you can't do that, how do you expect to do that with a camera?
Ooh.
Bruh.
I was waiting for the bruh.
That went hard.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I feel like people always think they need the flashiest thing. Man, you can do half this stuff with a phone nowadays. Like, just go out there and practice. Like, if you need to feel confident in the technical skills, like, yeah, you eventually will. But to me, it's more about, like, what are you doing daily? If you can't tell a story, how do you expect to do that with a camera all of a sudden? What, you're going to rely on the person that you're filming to tell the story? No. That shouldn't be the case, at least, you know?
Right.
And to me, a lot of it is soft skills. Like, how you make somebody feel before you hit the record button matters. Because there's so many people that are like checking the boxes, I feel. Like, okay, we need to get this shot, we need to do this, and we need to do that. And it's like, no. Take the 5-10 minutes and just get to know the person you're filming. That's it. Like, very similar to before we started this podcast, we talked for like, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Just shooting this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, that's what I would tell people. It's the soft skills. How you make people feel will exponentially make your videos better. And day to day, if you're not telling stories, don't expect to make a living out of that.
Okay. Now I want to expand your topic a little into what is happening societally right now. How do you have any guidance for Kosh listeners on how they might maintain while some people might feel the world is on fire around them?
I see what you did there. To me, I think it all comes down to like a thought process. How do we sync up with each other? You know, we are a social species, right? We need that social, that connection, right? And we sync up to people's thought processes. I can tell if somebody's down in the dumps right away when you get into the room. You can feel that vibe, right?
Yep.
And you should be raising them up, or everybody's going to meet them at that level, and then everything's going to go down. And I've learned this a lot in the creative realm, that like people need to be in a higher level of a thought process. And this can transcend into any industry. Like, you can tell right away, like if you're in a meeting and there's like a Debbie Downer, the whole meeting by the end of it starts going,
Bruh.
like, oh man, this could, I wish this was an email. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know? But to me, it's, there's 4 thought processes. There's destructive, where you're that negative, right? Like, we all can think of an example, both from someone else and ourselves, when we were in a destructive thought process. Get out of that as immediately as possible, because you're not going to be profitable with doing anything creative or with any connection that you have. Second one is animal, right? This is where you're kind of like in autopilot, right? You're just kind of going through the motions. You're not really taking control over anything. You're just kind of vegging out. Like, the perfect example is kind of like that doom scrolling, or just being like, you know, just having no plan, right? And then there's focus. This is where most people should be, right? You're focused on the task. You know what you're doing. You're taking charge. You're taking action. You know, you have thoughts. You're connecting with people. And then there's flow. This is where time is an illusion, right? Like, have you ever done something and all of a sudden you're like, man, that went fast. I can't believe all of a sudden we're done, right? That's an indicator of flow to me. And to me, on set, as I want people to be toggling between flow and focus, because that's when everything starts looking good. And that's when you get the best angles. Like, you can tell right away, like on set, we start in focus and then all of a sudden we're flowing. And it's just like, are we on? Every now and then I got to ask Tara, I'm like, are we on time? And she's like, dude, it's only been 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, I thought this was, thought we were taking longer. Like, oh, we already got this shot. We're moving ahead, right? And we all want people's thought processes to be raised up, right? Because that's how you're going to be profitable. That's how you're going to connect with others. And again, it's how you're going to make them feel. So I would love it for people to really think about the thought process that you're in. because that's how we make that connection. That's how we make people feel good. And that's how you make things more profitable.
Facts. All right. Well, Brandon, let me ask, is there anything else before we move on? Is there anything else you would like to share with the Kosh listeners that maybe you didn't feel like you got a chance to share about your topic of the week?
No, I'm feeling pretty settled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that was the topic of the week. That is awesome. All right. You know what? Before we go any further, I do believe let's go ahead and take the cider break.
Ooh.
Yes.
We got a bottle opener?
I'm gonna go get us one. How about that?
Otherwise, I've got one on my keys.
Oh,
So
there
let's
you
use that.
look at you. Look at
I
you
mean,
over here pulling
we're-
MacGyver type moves.
Bruh.
We're in the Midwest, man. If you don't have a bottle opener, in your
You are
keys-
kind of wrong if you don't have one, right? It
Right,
does
yeah.
feel like you gotta have one.
right.
All right. So, Kosh listeners, as you know, this has become a tradition here on the Kosh. We take a cider break, and the cider break always involves with celebrating a little bit with our guest by cracking open a bottle of the Kosh cider from Sunken Paddle. Sunken Paddle cider, you're making the best of it.
Oh, I'm gonna give you not an analogy. Do you want the red pill or the blue pill? For the listeners that aren't seeing here, we've got Sunken Paddle snifters here. One is in red, one is in blue. So
I'm gonna
just
take the blue.
You're gonna do the blue?
I'm gonna do the blue.
Is that the reality
Yeah,
one?
it might be the
Matrix
reality.
pun there?
Yeah, I think
I could be wrong.
And no, I think that was reality in the Matrix. Maybe. Okay, so the first thing we always got to do is we got to do the smell test.
Yeah, the swirl and smell, right?
Yes.
You picking up the heat in it?
Oh, that
little
habanero.
habanero?
It tickles.
It does. I stole the words right out of my mouth. I was
Just-
like gonna say that too. I'm like, ooh, a little
It-
spicy.
It just hits just a little bit in the back of the throat.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right. Cheers.
Every time it is good.
That's got some body to it.
Yeah.
Little heat, little body, little tang, something.
Yeah,
Maybe a
that's
little
it.
sour, but not a bad sour.
Well,
It's balanced.
Well, since they do dry cider and not this sweet stuff.
Right.
This is how
No
they
sugar
get down.
bombs.
Yeah, no headaches.
No headaches is right.
That's how they get down.
To me, what I like about it is it's balanced really, really well, just from a flavor profile, the bodiness, and there's just I've had it where there's too much carbonation in drinks. This just kind of tickles it just enough that it balances that heat, almost distracting.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden on the back end, you get a little bit of that sour, tangy, and it's good.
Yeah. What I like about this particular flavor, which I like almost all of them, but this one in particular is just that hint of habanero. Yeah. It just rolls different.
Right. To me, this would be great, by the water, a nice cool breeze, but on a hot day.
Facts.
And I think this would be great.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that is our cider break. And we are going to continue to sip cider throughout the rest of this episode, Kosh listeners, just so you know it's coming. But what we are going to do is we are going to get ready for our next segment. And our next segment is called What in the World is Going On With? And that is where we start with the phrase, what in the world? And you tell us what's on your mind. So,
What is on my mind? Well, originally I was kind of thinking we'd talk about thought process, but we kind of discussed that. So to me, it's really about scaling. That's what's on my mind.
okay.
Right now. I'm in a point right now where things are really good with the business. I started this 3 years ago, right? And things are picking up, right? If you're good at what you do, people want more of it, right?
Facts.
And the struggle that I'm having is how does one scale a business, right? I've always been a part of these big companies or projects, but it's now I've got to do it on my own, right?
Right. Now you got to grow.
Yeah, and to me, it's almost this like leap of faith, right? To me, faith is experience and understanding, right? I have the experience, I have the understanding, but how do I get there, right? Because I feel like I've been very fortunate to be a part of a lot of really epic projects, right? Like the stuff with Discover Oshkosh is amazing. It's led me to a bunch of other projects, right?
Right.
But then
all
it's
connected.
like, yeah. So what's on my mind is like, how do we do more of this, right? Well, I'm getting to the point where I'm at that capacity. So it's like almost kind of creating like a disciple or something like that, right? Like how do you duplicate yourself, right? How do you instill that? I love teaching. I love meeting new people. And I feel like creatives, for the most part, can be very introverted, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're like, yeah, because it depends what kind of creative, but there's the behind the scenes creative.
Yeah.
But for sure.
And some people get energy that way. Some people don't. So to me, it's, finding the right people, right? Like that vibe check. So to me, it's just trying to figure out the next move, right? Because like I really want to do more and more and more, right? I have yet to have to sell myself, Timber.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all been word of mouth. Right. And I feel like it's been a blessing that I've been a part of certain things that lead to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing.
Right.
And I think it's because I take that time to slow down and talk to people.
It is. Well, you got to build relationships.
Right. Well, because people connect with people. People don't connect necessarily to like a product. Like I could make an excuse for it, but like to me, it's at the end, people remember how you feel, made them feel.
Yeah.
Right? Not what you did. Because like I'm curious, in 5 years from now, Timber, are you going to remember the video that I shot at Sunken Pad, or are you going to remember the experience you had on set?
Oh, no, I'm going to remember the experience I had on set by far.
Yeah. So
Right.
it's finding the people that embrace that same mentality, right? Like we've all heard birds of a feather flock together, right?
True.
So that's kind of where I'm at. Like that's what's on my mind. Like how do I do this? What do I do? I've been fortunate enough to have a few mentors that have helped me start taking that leap, right? Like one of my good friends is one of the owners at Quill Creative in Oshkosh here. Phenomenal guy. Right out of college, he took me under his wing and showed me like the ropes of how to basically be a creative in like a business setting. Because it's one thing taking that leap from, well, this is freelance, this is just for fun, to how do you make a living out of it? And maybe that's more so what's on my mind than about the scaling. So I talked to Think Timber, if you haven't figured out.
Oh, no, that makes sense. And I really, this what in the world is going on with is near and dear to my heart, because as a creative, I'm trying to figure out how to make that transition, right, to actually the other side of that fence, right? Because there's the side hustle,
Yeah.
or the hobby.
Yeah.
There's the hobby, there's the side hustle, then there's formal business.
Yeah.
And they all hang out a little bit together, but they ain't the
Different
same
levels,
thing,
no,
right? There's
no.
levels to the game.
Yeah. And I feel like I can tell somebody that does it as a hobbyist versus somebody that's freelancing versus somebody that's professional. And it's usually on how they interact with somebody. Because at the end of the day, I'm one of a billion photographers and videographers. I'm fortunate enough that like it's really about that connection, right?
Yeah.
Because I've had people come back to me going like, we loved what you did. You did it kind of similar to this other company, but we want to work with you because you don't make it feel like work. Like,
Right. What your process feels like.
Yeah.
The rapport that you built. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
so to me, it all stems back to that. Like how you make people feel, Timber. That's what it is. And that likability and One of the topics that we didn't pick, that conjunction junction, was talking about that. My experience of heading out to Asia for the first time. It was the first time I left the United States. I didn't know any words, any Japanese, and I didn't know any Vietnamese. And we had 7 days in Japan, 7 days in Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh City, and then Tokyo. And we shot a music video in Tokyo and did a bunch of documentary work in Vietnam, following this musician around for a documentary. And you'd be surprised how the connection that we have between people, because I only know how to say hello and cheers in Japanese. That's it.
That'll get you a long way, though.
And konnichiwa. That's all I knew. And we got lost, epically lost. Like miles and miles away, and our like maps aren't really working, nothing's working, and this older gentleman with his kid helped us out. We did not speak the same language at all, but people want to help other people. Doesn't matter on the language, doesn't matter on the culture. People want that connection, right? So to me, it's not even always about the words, you know? It's mannerisms. It's all of those little things I feel we like overlook all the time. I thought you were going for the bra.
No, I like that. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what in the world is going on with is what in the world is going on with us taking 4 individuals who are not militarily trained and raising them to the rank of lieutenant colonel and inserting them into our military. That worries me.
Yeah.
You know, and it just worries me because the one thing about the military that I feel is like that you understand amongst it is whatever's on your collar, you earn that. Right? You earn that. Like everybody was a private. Everybody worked their way up the ladder. I mean, if you're an officer, you weren't a private, but you were even then a lower commissioned officer, right? But you start at the beginning and you step by step work your way through. You get trained on the different things. You start to manage larger and larger amounts of troops in whatever setting that you are in, whatever branch you're in, and you earn your collar.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have now just taken 4 individuals with tech backgrounds who are wealthy and inserted them into our military as lieutenant colonels, which is a really high rank, without a clear definition of what their mission actually is, but it's associated with something with tech, gives me so much pause.
Yeah.
Because what does all of that mean? Because there's some math that ain't mathing for me.
Amen to that.
You know, the fact that we did this, I don't think that's ever happened before.
No.
Right? Then for them to be wealthy individuals, why would they want that? Right?
I don't have the answers for that.
Yeah, no,
I like to question a lot of things.
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm right up there with you.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Make that math for me.
Right.
Yeah. And then to insert them in that situation. Now, look, there is a great discipline in following a chain of command in the military, and what your collar is gives you a lot of authority, right? But a lot of that also comes from knowing that you earned your collar. Yeah. How are others who have to answer to these individuals going to view them and believe in their leadership?
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, to my understanding, I don't have a military background by any means, but to me, the little bit I do know that I can pull on is trust, right? Like, and experience is what I'm kind of hearing you say. Like, when you earn your collar, right, or what's on your collar, you have experience. You've learned something. You've gone on the journey. You know, hopefully, what not to do, right?
Right.
Because there's experience and there's understanding, like I said before. To me, experience is earning your collar. The understanding is theory, right? So You can tell me all day long that jumping off of a bridge into water isn't a good idea. But experience, if you've done it, maybe not to do it. So to me, like what you're having here is this disconnect between experience, like an experienced individual, and somebody that is going through the experience. Like how do you bridge that gap? How do I know I can trust that somebody, that they have my back at the end of the day and my best interests versus maybe it is a fiscal thing that they're trying to do. I mean,
and what's the purpose? And just what is the purpose of just inserting these 4 individuals who came from the tech industry into our military at such a high rank?
Yeah.
And what purpose does that really, really serve? Because that's different, because you can always work with our military as a contractor. Why did they need to be inserted into it? It just hits me really, really different, and it gives me a whole lot of pause. I know nothing and have no answers, but I would like to think, like all of us, to just take a moment to just think about it and why maybe that math don't math.
What I love about this and what I like, because there's a lot of viewpoints, right?
Yeah.
Especially in today's political
And I'm trying not to make this is not a political statement.
Well, what I'm hearing is at a core, you like to question things. I like to question things, whether it's how does it work or why are we doing it, right? To me, that's the question that you're really asking here. And one of the things I think we can all agree on is this freedom that we have, right? We are allowed to question things, right? And to me, in my understanding about how we became the United States of America is we question what the hell they were doing in the UK, right? Yep. So we started our country by questioning things, and we should never stop questioning things. Even today, and the people that are running it, we should always be questioning.
Yes, we should.
And be curious.
And be curious.
And open-minded.
Be curious, be open-minded, but also hold people accountable for appropriate answers. And
Agreed.
I just think that is. And I would find it hard to believe anybody who's ever served, no matter what the capacity, no matter what the branch was, would be okay with this. Because that's just some weird stuff for the military.
Yeah. They've got some pretty tight processes, my understanding.
Because here's the thing. There's a shared experience. The reason why when you're a vet and you meet another vet, right, no matter what branch you are or whatever, you kind of have this shared understanding about some things because there's some common things you kind of all go through. One of them called drill sergeants. And some other things, maybe some things, some training in the field and just things that you share, this commonality, right? And you can, no matter who you are and whatever branch you are, it's not exactly the same, but you can kind of giggle about some of the stuff that Uncle Sam sends you through to serve. Yeah. And to bring in people and just skip all of that and send them to a very high rank and none of that is shared, and like that's just going to be sketch at best.
Yeah.
Sketch at best.
Right.
And so I don't know. I don't know that the math don't math. And I think we all should be questioning it a little bit. Why was that particular move necessary? So how is that truly going to benefit our military and make them better, stronger, and safer?
Right.
So, all right. So that was my what in the world is going on with. Next segment is called 21 Questions. This is where we ask some really good questions. Definitely not 21 of them, but there's some things we need to know. Yeah. We need to understand. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Brandon. First question. What motivates you?
Food and beer. I'm just kidding. I mean, it does, but honestly, I've said it, I think, at least 100 times already, but connection with people. Like, I want to meet people. That's it. That's what motivates me. At the end of the day, it's a good day if I met someone or talked to somebody.
What worries you?
Isolation, failing. It's pretty much it. Like I have a high caliber of like service that I have to provide, and it's always just like, what if it doesn't? That's always the lingering thing in the thing. What if the camera fails? What if the audio? What if I didn't hit record? Oh dear God, right? Like that's what keeps me up. It keeps me up, like all the time or something like that. So to me, I need to talk to somebody in a day, and if I'm worried if I get too busy, I won't be able to do that.
What does success look like to you?
So I think that, I don't know if you want me to go smaller or bigger picture with it, because to me, success is being able to do what makes me happy, and I'm able to support the people around me that I care. That's the big picture question.
I think that's a really good answer.
Like, because to be honest with you, Timber, where I want to go with what I want to do is I want to be able to have enough resources that I can support not just my family, and employees, but I want to be able to give back to our community. Because right now, all I can do is give my time. I want to be able to give more than just time. I want to be able to have like a wing of a hospital. I don't want my name on it. Like, I want to be silent about it, but I want to be responsible to be able to support others, because a lot of people have supported me. I am not here on my own accord. I'm here because I have a bunch of really cool people that have gotten me here.
What irritates you?
Closed-minded people that don't want to change, people that are poor communicators, people with no integrity. I don't care if you're right or wrong. I want you to go hot or cold after something. And if you're wrong, I want you to admit it right away, because that's what I do. Because I am by no means perfect, but I will be hot or cold. Because think of it this way. Do you like a lukewarm anything?
Probably not.
Save it for a bath for a baby. Like, that's the only time lukewarm, in my opinion, is acceptable. But if I go hot or cold after something and I'm wrong, I want to fail fast. And the other thing that annoys me, and I've said integrity, but like, just make sure you're saying do match up, or there's no trust. I want to trust the people I am around, and I do.
What scares you?
Oh, man. How do I want to say this? I'd say losing everything in a nutshell. Losing my eyesight or something like that, right? Like, where I can't do this thing, right? But that doesn't mean I can't do something else. But what scares me is the things that are outside of my control, I think, is really the principal level there.
What are you grateful for?
Every single one of my clients and the opportunities they give me. I'm grateful for my family. I got a 4.5-year-old son and a wife, and they champion me all the time. Like, when I went on my own, it was the scariest thing. I had one client, and I think that year we lived so minimal, because my son was 1 at the time, and we all know babies are really affordable, right? Said no one ever. But like, I mean, to live 1 year completely uncomfortable to where we are now, if you can do something in the short term, that stinks, but long term is going to pay off. And my family supported me through that. That is what I'm grateful for.
What do you want to be remembered for?
How I made people feel. I know I've been elaborative this whole time, but that's that one. I'm like, that's been a question I've always asked myself, and I boiled it down. I used to have a really long answer.
I like it. How do you define love?
Giving a value to somebody without expecting anything in return. Think of it. I have a 4.5-year-old. Like, I'm constantly loving him by giving him, food, clothing, time, and experience. I'm not expecting him to ever give that back to me. That is what love is to me.
What is the most memorable life lesson you've learned from a parent, a guardian, or a mentor?
Do what you love. And now, I'm not going to give the cliche second half of that and you'll never work a day in your life. No, you will, because you will have hard times. It will feel like work when the deadline is approaching. But seriously, go after what you love, because it will make you happy and it will make others attracted to you and want to be a part of that.
So you have been asked to be the keynote at this conference of your colleagues, of conference of those who vibe on the same things that you vibe on, right? Storytelling. But, if you at a conference and you the keynote, the only thing that sets up the stage appropriately is a walkout song.
Yeah.
What is your walkout song?
I think I spent the most time trying to think of this response, Timber. Like
This-
everything else, I was like, "Oh, I can talk about this all day."
This is
there
the
was
one.
a song, because I'm like, I listen to all sorts of genres, anything from the 1920s, like seriously, like Earl Scruggs, all the way up to like Cardi B and that kind of stuff. Like it's a broad range. Like if you listen to my Spotify, just like liked songs, you'd be like, how did we go from like Swedish death metal to like banjo music in less than 10 minutes? And I was just like, what I want is something that pumps you up and makes you feel good. And to me, it's Pink Yesterday by Too Many Zoos. It's got this funk beat with this sax to it, and it's just like bump, bump, bump. Bump, dump, dump, kind of a feel, and it just makes you feel good. It's a little funky, a little upbeat, and it's just like, yeah, that's probably me in a nutshell. Little upbeat, little funky, and just want to have a good time and a good rhythm.
Heck yeah, you could never go wrong with the funk.
Oh, amen.
All right, I'm feeling that. Okay, well, you have survived 21 questions.
Woo!
Yep.
All 8 of them.
Hey, you know what? But I'll tell you what we're going to do right now.
Speaking of the math, don't math. I'm just giving you a hard time, Timber.
Not that math. Wait, the math isn't supposed to math. But I'll tell you where I got 21 questions from. Well, because I feel like it's a thing that people always talk about doing 21 questions. But there's this song by 50 Cent, 21 questions.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to use that as the title for the segment. But we're not going to actually ask 21 questions. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
But I feel it's
Yeah.
relatable.
Yeah.
But it's very funny. If I ever have a guest who hasn't looked at the outline at all and I say that, they're like, what?
Do we have time for that?
Well,
Yeah.
21?
Yeah, thank you for sending this over. It helps. I don't think I've read much off of it, but
No, it's just supposed to, so you ain't got to think everything off the top of the dome.
yeah.
Having a little pre-processing never hurts anything. But I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. I think now, before we jump in our next segment, is a great time for a brittle break.
Hey, Timber, this is Orson.
This is Yao. Hashtag
The Brittle
Daddies.
Daddies. Timber, every week you've got some amazing guests, and we want to give them a little something for being part of your experience.
Let's give them the peanut brittle. It's bold and classic.
Leave this for guests who have something powerful to say.
And if your guests or listeners want to find out more about Share's Ghana style brittle, check out www.sharesgsb.com.
That sounds about right. And we're out.
Deuces!
All right, so we always want to give a huge shout out to our friends Orson and Yao over there at Share's. They always hook us up with some brittle, and therefore we share the love with our guests. So, Brandon, if you don't mind going and crack that bag open.
All right.
And
you
as
having
you,
some with me?
oh yeah, I am. And as you could tell, let me as Kosh listeners, you know, Bosco the podcast dog always pops up whenever a bag is opened. He is magical.
I think he's trained.
Oh, he is trained for treats. He's about that life.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Well, hi. Yeah. I don't think he can have any of this though.
Oh, he's fine.
No.
This ain't his first rodeo.
This is good.
Oh, yeah. You like that?
I do. I like the crunch. I like the fact that it's not like sticking to my teeth like some brittle.
Yeah.
From what it looks like, it's a pretty healthy snack. I saw that it said gluten-free, vegan.
Yep.
Seems like they've got a pretty good approach to like, hey, let's keep it simple. Let's make it flavorful, but none of the negative connotation you'd have with a typical brittle. Because, man, sometimes I'm like, I don't think there's an amount of toothpaste or mouthwash that's going to get this out of my teeth. This is not that way. And it's not like too sweet, too salty. It's like a balance.
It's nice. I like the texture. Like, I love a good crunch, and it just has the right texture to me about it. So,
yeah.
And let me tell you, once you taste it, you're going to find yourself reaching for that bag throughout the rest of this episode.
I'd like to add a disclaimer. There might be multiple crunchiness in the background if Timber's talking.
That just may have to happen. Never is that a bad thing. So, once again, shout out to our friends over there at Charest, and you can find Charest Ghana Style Brittle, which there's 4 options of it available at various spots here across the Kosh and the surrounding Fox Cities region. And if you would like specifically to know where they are, please feel free to reach out to me and I would be happy to let you know. But right now, since it is farmers market season, you can find the Brittle Daddies in person at your local farmers market, either in the Kosh or in Appleton's farmers market.
I've gone to both of those.
Oh, yeah.
Now I need to. I also got to check out that burrito place you were talking about.
Oh, let me tell you something. Look, the burrito people need to holler at me because they need. If I could pick up a burrito before every episode, we would do a nice little 5-minute segment on the burrito.
Oh yeah,
that burrito is fantastic.
I don't know if I've ever met somebody that doesn't like a burrito.
I'm gonna agree with that, but my thing is tacos. Yeah, you can't say the word taco and not smile.
Well, I'd agree.
Like, it just makes you feel good. Like, there's not bad tacos.
Right. Well, and I lump a lot of that up into one, like a taco burrito. I know there's a huge difference, but like to me, like it's simple.
Yeah.
It's a simple vessel to get flavor into your mouth.
Lots of flavor.
It's a bundle of happiness is what a burrito is.
It
right?
does, right? And it handles well.
It does.
It handles well. You know, I'm always about eating with your hands.
Yeah.
And when you can find the right sustenance that you can eat with your hands and handle it, like, there's nothing fragile about a burrito.
No. God,
you handle that thing.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things. Like, when I go anywhere, I'm looking for, like, street truck burritos. Like, one of my favorite.
Yeah,
like, any event I go to, and I get hired to do a lot of like festivals, and it's the first thing because one, it's usually like decent for you. It's not like unless if you're doing a chimney, it's not fried.
Yeah,
it's good food. Depending on the burrito, it's not too heavy.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Yeah, nope. I am all about it. And what I like to do is I lay back first. If I go to an event where there's food trucks, I like to watch everybody in line get their food so I can observe.
Oh, you do that too?
Yeah. So I can understand, right? Because there's usually various options. Mm-hmm. So I need to see. What yours looks like, and then I need to go stand by this other truck, and then I make my decisions. Some people look like they just go get in a line.
Yeah.
I don't just go get in the line. There's evaluations that must be made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's weird how well that you put that, because I would describe the same way. Like, I got to take a step back and look around. Okay, so do I want an egg roll? Do I want this? What's going on?
Yeah,
don't get me started on some of those.
Oh, the egg roll
farm market.
Oh, yeah.
Those are phenomenal. And you said we can get these Charest.
You can get it like at the food co-op. I think Wagner's Market might carry it. I know there's various coffee establishments in Appleton that carry it. They're around. They are around. But if you would like to know specifically where you can get it, please reach out to me at askthekosh@gmail.com, and we will get you connected with the Brittle Daddies, or I will get you a list of places where you can go pick up Charest Ghana Style Brittle.
Yeah.
It's serious. I'm
good.
telling you,
It's
the
good.
the taste has this amazing aftertaste that just kind
does.
of it sits with you, and it just keeps saying, "Hey, you know, you want to grab another stick of this."
Like this should have a disclaimer.
It
Just,
kinda should.
You're gonna have way more than one. This bag's gonna go faster than.
Oh, you gonna eat the bag. That's what it is. You're not gonna leave a bag and come back to now. You're eating the bag.
No,
That's how it goes down. All right. Well, we're gonna jump into the next segment, and the next segment is called word association, and this is where, Brandon, I'm gonna say some words to you. You're gonna tell us what comes to your mind. We'll talk about it. So, and here on the Kosh, we have a long-standing tradition. We have always started with the same word for word association.
Okay.
And that is a word that signifies family, community, happiness. That word is food.
Yeah.
What's your association?
With which one?
The word food.
Oh, food connection. 100%. Like, think about it. Like, my earliest memories of food is with people. It's a chance for us all to sync up. It's one of the things that, like, in our house, we like to be able to sit down and have food together. It's that connection piece.
Since you get to go around and kick it a little bit and have these relationships with many different local establishments, you got a favorite spot? We got some favorite type of food.
Ooh, man, that's like picking your favorite kid. It really all depends, man. Like, it depends on the vibe. It depends on the group. It depends on what kind of connection I want to have. You know, it also depends on the weather. So, no, I don't think I can. What am I looking forward to right now? I want a good gyro. Like, a gyro sounds really good.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
fair.
To me, I've always been a loyal one of Nico's. I
Oh,
always
yeah.
have been. And maybe it's just from the
Oh.
college days of going there.
Yes.
But man, I love that kind of style.
I want to send a big fat shout out to my man Greg out there, dude.
Yeah.
Look, I can't tell you how one of those have saved me many a night back in the day.
Yeah, maybe no further questions on that.
Yeah. We all got
It's good at any time, but it's really, really good
at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I ain't got no shame.
No,
I'm a Titan.
Yeah, amen, brother.
I went to Molly's. You know, this is what No, I have no shame because that's actually where I met my wife.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. So, okay, I like that. You know, right now, since you threw a gyro out there, my thought process for food at the moment is I really want to go sit down at the Trails Inn and have me some chili dogs because they just make me happy.
Yeah.
It's something very simple about that place,
Yeah.
and it just brings you back. You know what you're getting, and it's reliable.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be the
and
same
it's so
every time.
affordable.
Oh, the
And-
affordability factor is off the chain. Off the chain.
Oh man, I remember I had never been there before, and I've driven by it a lot.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just such a friendly place. Like, I remember meeting the Discover Oshkosh team there because we did a segment on, you know,
Bob's Trails Inn.
yeah, right. And I remember meeting Bob, and that guy's a character, and I love him. Straight shooter. I love those people. I don't have to guess.
No.
But the vibe, the culture that you can tell right away that, like, this is where people go, not just for the food.
No.
It's for that, like, connection and hanging out. So
That and some of that, you know, because they do keep it some affordable. That's how some people are actually, you know, this is their spot where they take care of themselves through.
Right.
And they know that is their tribe. That is their community. So I appreciate Bob's.
Yeah.
Cocktail or beer?
What was that?
Cocktail or beer?
Depends on the day. Like in the summer, beer. Like a beer, like just in general. I know like what to expect. But like winter or like family events and stuff like that, probably like an old fashioned always hits this spot, right?
Sweet or sour?
Sour. Yeah.
Do we throw things in it?
I like to keep it simple. Give me an orange and cherry. That's all I need. You can hold the olives.
No olive.
Not an olive guy. No.
Shop local.
Support. To me, like it's all about supporting other people's dreams. People have supported mine. I want to support theirs. You have a dream, you have an ability and an idea in order to bring to the people, whether it's, a retail or a service provider or a restaurant or something like that. I would rather go to a local place any day because you get authentic food or authentic one-of-a-kind experience. I'm an experience guy. I like experiences over like gifts. And anytime I can go to a new place with my family or friends, which is really why I like Discover Oshkosh, because it gives me a good cause to focus on. Like, oh, we get to try Thunderbird Bakery.
Right.
I never would have thought to go there. Like when I think of coffee or sourdough or something of that caliber, like I'm pretty much a creature of habit. So this kind of helps me sometimes do that.
Big shout out to Thunderbird Bakery. We do have an episode with them from back in the day.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Phenomenal owners.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Music.
I think when I think of music, I think of passion, expression, and then also love, the feeling of love, not my definition of love earlier. My very first memories, 6 years old, my uncle gave me an acoustic guitar, and I've been playing ever since. So to me, it's creative expression. Like when crap hits the fan, that guitar is coming out every single time. So to me, music is an outlet.
Streaming.
I think of family. I think of all of us like on a couch experiencing storytelling.
What are you streaming right now? What's in rotation?
So when we're with my son, we're watching a lot of Trolls and Despicable Me and that kind of caliber. But right now, my wife and I are finishing Bob's Burgers.
Oh, okay.
I think we got 2 episodes left, and we're done with all 15 seasons.
Oh, wow.
So now we're like, now what are we gonna watch? Yeah. I'm open to suggestions if you got some.
Ooh, yeah. No, I don't have that. I do have a movie suggestion right now
You like movies?
on Netflix. If you haven't seen the movie Straw,
I haven't.
watch Straw that, but be ready
All right.
because it's emotional. It pulls at you. It pulls at you. Once again, that is that random crunching that just happens to happen.
I warned the people.
You did warn them. You did. You let them know.
Good, isn't it?
You let them know. Last word. Community.
Community. I would probably have to say love through and through. Like a community, like a good community embraces each other. Like I think of generative community, one that raises people up. And I know I said that about like Oshkosh earlier. I think this is a generative community. I think this is one that supports. Like when I meet other business owners that are like supporting other businesses and it's not like me against you. Like I love when I see like, Wagner Market, I'm blanking on their names, and they're at Thunderbird when we were filming and stuff like that. And like, just we're all supporting each other. And that to me, community is love.
I think that happens a lot, actually. I see that more often than not where our local business owners will go support each other and buy their products and utilize their products within maybe their business if it's appropriate. Mm-hmm. Like it happens all the time.
Well, think about it. Like partnerships, like the Kosh Tail.
Facts. Yep, that's facts. The Kosh Tail is a partnership between my church and Sunken Paddle.
Yeah. But I think that's really cool because why can't we all win?
There is no reason. There is not any reason why we all shouldn't be winning. There is space for it.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And we have completed word association. Next segment. Next segment is called the Kosh Hidden Gems. This is an opportunity for our guest to share a hidden gem or gems with the Kosh listeners. That gem could be something you think everybody knows about, but maybe there's some details they don't know about, or maybe it's something you don't think enough people know about. Brandon, what's your hidden gem?
My hidden gem. That is a good question that I think you surprised me on that one. Can you rephrase it?
It's just things that you think that people know about and maybe don't know some like really important details about, or maybe it's something that you don't think a lot of people know about. So like, if I was to give an example of what I think a hidden gem is, we talked about it earlier. I think the trail's end is is a hidden gem because like, if you don't know, you don't know. I can't tell you, like when I have people from Appleton particularly or connected with my job and they come here to Oshkosh to hang out with me and kick it. One of the stops is usually the Trail's End because I love feeding them some chili dogs.
Yeah.
Buying a round of chili dogs for us, a frosty mug beer, a bag of chips, and slapping down a $20 bill and getting change back.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, what is this magical kingdom?
Right. Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times that's happened.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, I would have to say I discovered a lot of hidden gems with the Discover Oshkosh one, specifically Jerry's Bar. I didn't know what to expect. Like, I knew of Pete's Garage. And I was like, okay, like, these neighborhood bars that we're going to, like, how is it going to show up and stuff like that. I remember walking into Jerry's because we were doing some, like, pre-pro. We wanted to go, okay, what are the angles? None of us have been here. So Tara and I went there just to grab lunch and just a working beer. And, you know, we're looking around, and it just felt like we have been here before. But we hadn't. It's like, it felt like an episode of Cheers when we walked in, where it's just like, it just felt like home. Like the bartender all the way down to just like the atmosphere, the vibe. Within 5 minutes, we're talking to everyone there.
Yep.
You know, and the pizza is phenomenal.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Nope. Know about Jerry's because it's right here across
I know.
the street.
It is. And I didn't know I would love it so much because I'm not necessarily the biggest, like, like I said, I am a creature of habit kind of a deal. And now that's part of my habit. Like, I want to go there. Like, the amount of times, like, hey, we're done with the shoot a little bit early. Where you want to go? It's like, I think we're going to find our way there. I think I want to go there because, you know, it's the vibe. I'm a vibe guy.
Yes.
Vibe, experience, however you want to wrap it. But to me, I would say probably Jerry's Bar.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. I think the thing about Jerry's is, like, it's very, because if you are a regular, it's family.
Yeah. Well, even our first time.
Yeah, because they're going to bring you in.
Yeah.
They bring you in.
One of us. Yeah, you know, it's just, it was cool.
So definitely got mad love for there. I haven't been there in a while. Okay. That is a very good gem. All right. Kosh listeners, go check out Jerry's.
Yeah. Should.
Which I think is the oldest, if I am correct, don't quote me, but I think it is the oldest bar in the Kosh.
I believe you're correct on that. I believe that made it into the script.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Last segment. All right.
Yeah.
Last segment, favorite segment. Last segment is called Story Time. It's an opportunity for our guest to share a story with the Kosh listeners. And that story can be about absolutely anything. It's just, we just want a story.
Yeah.
So
I gave you, again, dealer's choice. I gave you 3. You can read them off and then pick the one that hits.
okay, I'm going to read these off. All right. So option 1 is losing everything in Europe. Option 2, Asia upside down. And option 3, death and taxes. And this time, anything with taxes already gave me the chills, so I'm not touching those. We're going to go with option 2, Asia, upside down.
Awesome. So I loosely kind of told you about this experience, right? Like we were doing a documentary following a musician with the premise of how to make a living as an artist in today's day and age. Because you're not working a 9 to 5. You're hustling. It's a DIY everything, right? And we wanted to capture that experience. And this was the first time I had ever left the US. And people are like, that's your first time leaving the States is going to Asia? That's a bad idea.
Bruh.
And I'm like, well, why? And they're like, it's not like you're going to Canada or Mexico or something like that, where they kind of like, it's kind of similar, but kind of different. And I would have to agree. It was completely different, but in a way that was so awesome. One, we were out there for a little over a half a month. So we did about 7 or 8 days in Japan, 7 or 8 days in Vietnam. And I wish we would have done it in the other order. Vietnam first, then Tokyo, because we followed this artist. We shot a music video that won an international award. And we're out there and we stick out. We stick out. We're, 3 Caucasian dudes. I am not a small individual. I'm not like a heavy set dude, but the artist kept saying, Brandon, you're too big for Tokyo.
Bruh.
Like, I'm going to paint a picture. There are 3 dudes in a room smaller than this, living there for 7 or 8 days. And this is what, maybe 8 by 10?
This is
at best?
I think it's a 10 by 10.
10 by 10?
Might be a 10.
Like, we're pretty much sleeping on top of each other. Mm-hmm. Like, cabin fever is a real thing at this point in time. And we're all trying to give each other, like, breaks and time, right? Because when you're doing documentary filming, you're filming from at 6 or 7 in the morning, and you're done at about midnight. And then you got to import and all of that technical stuff. So cabin fever's kind of setting in. The room is so small, Timber, I have to take the picture frames off the wall to use the restroom because my shoulders kept knocking them off.
Bruh.
Okay?
Ooh,
I'm
that's
too
small.
big for Tokyo, right? And it's so cool. I mean, it is a society of people that are just so in sync. Like, there are millions and millions of people all the time. And just the way they operate as a society was so cool. Like, I similar to you, like, I like to step back just to see how things work or what food to eat. I'm the same way there, right? And I fell in love with this, what they call Japanese soul food. Because I'm not a sushi guy. I was really worried about going to Tokyo. And I was like, every day I tried sushi, hoping I like it. If I don't like sushi in Japan, I know I'm the problem. Like, let's just address that
Bruh.
right off the bat. All right. I want to love it. I just don't.
That's
so
hilarious.
I kept finding myself going to this Japanese soul food restaurant, which is basically just a curry based over rice. I think it was like a pork or something. I don't remember exactly what it is. Somebody that's more knowledgeable than me could tell you what it is. All I know is I loved it. Right. So then we head over to Vietnam, and this is so hot. We were in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, or for some of the older people, Saigon, they might know it as. And we filmed there because that's how the musician first got started. He started his humble beginnings in Vietnam and then made his way to the States. And it is such a culture shock. It is a third world country. It's, in my opinion, heavily polluted, and it was just, there's a beauty in that chaos, but also at the same time, it's like, you can't drink any of the water. I never knew what I was eating, but it was the best food I ever ate, and I've never felt better. I also didn't want to question what it was. As long as it tasted good, I was good. It didn't make me sick. That's awesome. And there's, of course, a bunch of other things that we did, but as soon as you walk out the door of the Airbnb we're at, it's like a hair dryer sucked to your lips. It is that hot. Like, you're breathing in like
Just
heat. I mean, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's 90 degrees. 90 degrees. That's hot. Now, by 1 o'clock, it is I'm a medium well by noon. I'm cooked. And such a different experience out there. I ended up renting a moped, crashed the moped. I thought I was going to go to jail. The guy that I hit on this moped, because first of all, $500, you're a millionaire there. So it was really cool to be able to experience whatever we wanted. There was no limitation. It was just whatever we want to do as long as we're following the musician around. And some of the best shots I got, he ended up playing a free concert to an orphanage. The most humbling experience ever. It was just so cool to be a part of. And then on the way back, we ran into issues. So it was a 42-hour flight back. This is with delays and all of that. It was, so we get to the airport, start having issues. They don't want to check the musician's bag. They're questioning us with all their camera gear because we have to have all that as a carry-on. You can't have batteries in the belly of the plane, and there's obviously a language barrier and all this stuff, right? So eventually we get there, and then the connecting flight is back in Tokyo. Well, this is when I don't know if it was FIFA or some big sporting game that happened. And they're like, sorry, you can't have a drone as a carry-on. Well, what do you mean? We're a connecting flight. What are we going to do? Why are you checking our bags a second time? We've already done this, and they're like, well, this is what's going on and you can't have a drone. And I'm like, well, too many questions, not enough time. And they basically are like, you need to put this in the belly of the plane. It's like, well, we don't have any of the stuff to carry it. So we eventually work our way through that. But I kid you not, anytime I travel, I usually have an epic story out of it. And it took us 42 hours to get home from that. And it's just quite an experience when you go to a different country like that and not knowing their language and still being able to feel understood by other people. And being able to go to those hole in the wall and putting quote around hole in the wall places, because guy we were following around, he knew where to go. And we it's usually typically affordable, but it was such a cool experience. And I just found out 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a friend that went out to Tokyo and he's like, hey, I know you've been there. Where should I go? And there used to be a bar in Tokyo called Old Milwaukee, or I think something like that. And it looks exactly like a Pete's Garage. And I remember when we were out there on midway through, we were like, well, we're kind of starting to miss home, but we're also distracted by everything that's going on. And we went there and it was such a cool experience to be feeling like we're home. And some people spoke English there, which helped, because I'm a believer, I don't want you to have to adjust to me. I just don't know your language, and
Right.
being able to connect and stuff like that. So to me, that's basically my story. I love when I get to travel. I just wish when I traveled on airplanes, I had better experiences, because each one of these is around travel. So,
Okay. So all the story times were travel stories.
Well, I like to travel. I like to experience different cultures. It's so cool. We're a melting pot of a bunch of cultures. Why not experience the authenticity of where that culture came from?
Agreed. That was a fantastic story for the Kosh listeners. All right. We made it through story time. Kosh listeners, you know what is next. We're going to start wrapping up this episode. So, Kosh listeners, I just want to take a moment and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for giving us your minds and ears. Thank you for caring about another amazing community member out here making our community a better place. I love these connections. I love these stories. I love learning how we have all these different types of people doing all sorts of work, but all of it is for the common good of us, making the Kosh and the surrounding Fox area cities just better, and whatever that looks like. Today, we got to talk to a true storyteller, and I have such a great appreciation for that, because I also like to think here at the Kosh, we try to do the same thing in our own way too. Tell some stories so we all get to know each other a little better, and we can be better neighbors to each other, because it is hard to dislike someone whose story you know and understand. Facts. All right, Kosh listeners, you already know we are trying to become the #1 podcast in Wisconsin. Can't do it without your help. So what does that look like? That means if you are listening right now and you're thinking, oh, he needs a segment on this. Oh, he needs to ask these kind of questions. Let us know. Or if maybe you're sitting back and you're listening, you're thinking, I would like to be on the Kosh, or this person here would be a great guest for the Kosh. Let us know. Go ahead and email us at askthekosh@gmail.com. Once again, that is askthekosh@gmail.com. Number 2, we think we have something pretty special here in this podcast known as the Kosh, but it can't become better if we don't get more eyes and ears listening to it, and that's done through analytics. So while you're listening to this episode, take a moment and hit the subscribe button. If there's stars, give us 5 of them. And if there's an opportunity to write a review, go on and take a few moments and write that review. These are all things that make our analytics better. And the better our analytics are, the more eyes and ears are able to find out about this amazing resource we have in the region known as the Kosh. Okay, well, you know what time it is next. Brandon, I hope you're ready for this, because this is where the fun really is, and it is this. It is shout-out time. Yeah. Got some shout-outs?
I do. I'd like to first of all thank you, Timber. Thanks for having me. I would say Amy Albright of Discover Oshkosh for giving me quite the opportunity to reconnect with this community. I know when we moved out of Oshkosh, I was really worried that I would lose some ties. I'd also like to thank and shout out Tara Brzezowski, Brett Hildebrand, Ivy, and Andrew Summers for always being there for me, supporting me, and just being awesome individuals. And I'd also like to thank my business coach, Molly Hildebrand, and my church, Music of Life Church.
All right. You were ready.
I was ready.
You're on deck with these shout-outs.
Yeah.
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
sure there's so many more that I could go on.
Well, but you handled business. Business. All right. My shout-outs, I'm going to send a shout-out to Maria Padilla. I think I just messed that name up. But Maria, I just want to send you a shout-out. I want to send a shout-out to Junior Achievement BizTown. I get an opportunity every once in a while. They call me in to Junior Achievement. And if you didn't know, there's this great resource in Appleton where it's a mock city, and kids get to go there and you get to run a town. So like there's literally mock businesses. So like there's an energy company, there's a town hall, there's a Fox Valley Tech, there is a Bergstrom's, there's all of this, there's a We Energies. Like they're all in this mock town, and you go and these kids do exercises running a town. And we're talking young kids and older kids. And every once in a while I get to, when my boss can't make it in, I get to fill in and get to talk to our youth. And let me tell you something about our youth. They ask real questions. They do not hold back, and I love it. But the energy is always fire with them, so I always appreciate them. So special shout out to Junior Achievement for letting me drop in again and inviting me in. Want to send a special shout out to my girl Nicole, who is the owner of Back Office Consulting. If you need a bookkeeper, she gets you right, and I appreciate it. Thank you for all of the advice you're giving me as we are trying to figure out some things as we are on our way to trying to start our business. All right. And a shout out to the burrito tent over at the farmer's market, because you know what? It's my happiness. I'm sorry, Kosh listeners, you're just going to have to listen to me talk about this burrito tent. Hopefully it actually inspires some of y'all to get down to the Kosh's farmer's market and see what I'm talking about. Get the steak burrito, and then you will understand why I be talking all this mess about it. All right. I want to send a special shout out to Fat Mama. I saw Fat Mama had an cooking accident within there. She has been getting better, but has gone through a medical situation. We're thinking about you. I appreciate you. I hope you're healing well. And I want to say thank you to the community for supporting her while she's getting back on her feet. That I can't tell you how important that is. Thank you for looking out for her because she's such a blessing to our community in so many ways. And then last but never least, I got to send a shout out to my wife for continuing to let us record a podcast in the house. Baby, I love you and thank you. Okay, Brandon, we got one last thing to do before we wrap up this episode, and that is this. First, let me just say thank you for being here on the Kosh.
Thanks for having me.
And then you got multiple choices. You gave me options. I'm going to give you options. I like the options. That was good. Okay, so option 1 or option A. Share with the Kosh listeners some parting words of wisdom. Option B. Tell the Kosh listeners, what would yourself today tell your 13-year-old self? And option C. All of the above, because good multiple choice always gives you the option to do everything. All right.
Gosh, could you imagine if I had all of the above? We'd be here till 3 or 4 if I had to do each one of those stories.
I'm going to be honest. This is a short episode at a couple of hours. Because Kosh episodes, we've been creeping it to 2 hours and 30 minutes, a whole lot. Let me tell you.
Well, that's all right. To me, that's a good sign that you're having good conversations.
Good
conversations make good podcasts.
Facts.
So what would I'm going to do all the above to answer your question, because I'll just keep talking. What would I tell my 13-year-old self? Just trust yourself. What you're doing, the choices you're making, and the conversations you're having will all get you to where you need to be. Just trust yourself, trust your gut, and just be yourself. You already have the tools and skill set, so just do it. And then just general wisdom. And I kind of talked on this earlier, but just to really make sure that nail gets one more hit from the hammer and pound it in, I would say, whatever you do, do it with vigor. Nobody likes lukewarm. Go hot or cold, and just do it.
Facts. Love that. All right. What'd you think?
Love it.
Yes. It's the Kosh, baby.